Are you in the discard phase with a narcissist and you've noticed that there's legal escalating going on? Maybe your narcissist is really using the court system as a weapon against you. Then this is a must-watch video for you. Hey there, when you are dealing with a narcissist, especially in the discard phase, that escalation is real. It is not imagined. It can carry a lot of major legal dangers if you don't see the signs early. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to walk you through the subtle signs of escalation, the signs that signal escalation, the red flags in the legal landscape that you might be missing, and the exact strategies to protect yourself now and in the future. Before we dive in, I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm the legal leverage lawyer, and I'm here to help you take back your power in every way. And if you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss a strategy to protect yourself and get your power back against narcissists. So Benjamin Franklin said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Bruce Lee also said, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. So it's really important when you're dealing with narcissists, especially to understand the prevention side of things. That means spotting escalation before it costs you credibility, money, or your case. So a narcissist rarely stays the same. What starts out subtle, little digs, controlling moves, when that mask starts to come off, when that discard phase happens and they realize they're losing their supply source, it turns into aggression. You become public enemy number one. And so they want to take you down before you can take them down. And what's happening in their brain is that they've been triggered, so that narcissistic injury has been triggered, and it causes that limbic system to be activated, which shuts down their prefrontal cortex, which is the area of the brain that's responsible for judgment, reason, being rational, all of those things. And that shift from quiet erosion to open escalation is when you see those stakes get super high, especially legally. I'm going to break this down into 4 stages. One is the quiet erosion, when those subtle digs become serious. The next one is the escalation phase, where that escalation really starts to accelerate and what the telltale signs are. And then the third one is the legal landscape, early red flags that you might be missing. And then the fourth one is high stakes, those critical oversights that could definitely cost you. So let's start with one, the quiet erosion. When that subtle becomes serious, these are the first cracks in the wall, easy to dismiss, oftentimes overlooked, especially if you're supposed to be the kind, good, empathetic person. Very dangerous if ignored. This is when you see that honeymoon phase start to fade, whether you're in a personal relationship or a professional relationship. It's, at first everybody's all passionate or protective, into it. And now it becomes control, manipulation, questioning. You just think, what happened to the person that I thought I was getting into this relationship with? Then the gaslighting creep is part of this as well. You're remembering it wrong. You're overreacting. It's not that big of a deal. And over time, this erodes your trust in yourself. And then you'll see some shifting of goalposts. One day the rules are one way, the next day they change. They say something, it never comes to fruition. You're always wrong. You're always chasing these moving standards. Narcissists keep you alive on hope. That's how they manipulate you. That's how they keep you strung along. And if any of this feels familiar, give me a so sure, yes, definitely, I've seen it, anything like that in the comments. Like, yes, totally. Because naming it is the first step to taking back control. The second phase is when that escalation accelerates. This is that discard phase. And the telltale signs are pretty in your face. Sometimes they're a lot harder to miss. Everything intensifies, right? This is where you start to see public put downs or even private put downs, humiliating you in front of other people. And then they say it was just a joke. Dominance dressed up as humor. Financial manipulation. This is sudden interest in your money or not paying you when they should, or shutting off access to accounts, moving money around, sabotaging projects to control your income. And then isolation tactics intensify. This somebody is a bad influence, or why do you waste time on them, or they don't care about you, or only I do. So that's where you get into this discard phase. Now you're moving into the legal landscape. Here's where escalation crosses into legal danger. Withholding or losing documents. Suddenly the court papers, contracts, or financial records are misplaced, always at the worst possible time or during court. Unrealistic communication demands. They insist on specific times or platforms, then they punish you for not complying. I only respond for between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. in the morning. If you don't go along, then you're uncooperative. Weaponizing the courts, threatening lawsuits, filing motions, fraudulent motions, saying things that aren't true, pleadings, lighting you up with litigation, making a huge thing out of trivial matters just to create a text record, dragging you into legal battles just to exhaust you, right? These are not minor inconveniences. These are deliberate tactics to drain your resources, delay justice, and break your resolve. If you need a way to start documenting properly with the narcissist, go to docthenarc.com and get my free documentation cheat sheet to get started, because you really want to make sure you're documenting properly during this phase. Okay, so docthenarc.com, and join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, for additional support and help also. All right, now if you're in full-blown crazy mode, here are some of the biggest mistakes that I see people make in this stage. Thinking everyone knows the truth, but lies repeated enough stick and they damage your credibility in court. How you do this is you hold the narcissist accountable in court, not letting them get away with anything. Failing to document, so important. If you haven't documented, then whatever happened is just going to be vapor in the air. Save text, emails, correspondence. Make sure you have witness accounts. Keep everything. And again, go to docthenarc.com to get started with how to document properly. And then looking at patterns. Many people miss the patterns. They assume that pain is going to be rewarded in court. It is not. Patterns equal power. Postponements, frivolous filings, non-compliance, all of those things are not incompetence. There's a strategy, and it's not just by accident. It's a tactic that they're using. Recognize it and use it against them. Their bad behavior becomes your gifts. How you can protect yourself is building that supportive framework, having the right legal counsel. So you want to make sure you have the right legal counsel. And all of this in my Slay program, my Slay AI, can help you with all of this, creating patterns, finding the right lawyer. Focus on evidence, not emotion. Evidence, not emotion. Okay? Courts do not care about feelings. They care about facts. Remember, it's data, not drama. Let your documentation do the talking. It's their word against your documentation. There are two types of people in these situations. Those who dismiss escalation and think it's going to get better and then it's just exploding around them, or people who understand the early signs, see them, stay calm, document, find patterns, and create the leverage and the power that needs to be created. So which one are you going to be? Right? You don't protect yourself by waiting for them to calm down, waiting out the storm. You protect yourself by preparing the evidence that you need to prepare. And you don't sit back and wait for your lawyer to do it either. Your lawyer knows the law, but they don't know your life. If this video gave you clarity, give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody who needs it, and make sure that you have subscribed and tapped that bell so you never miss strategies that keep you safe and strong. The next video that I want you to watch are phrases that expose a narcissist's hidden agenda, because you first need to recognize escalation and then you need to decode the language that they use to manipulate you. I'm Rebecca Zung, and remember that your power lies in preparation, your leverage lies in documentation, and your peace lies in refusing to play their game. You can slay that bully, and you can negotiate your best life. I'll see you in that next video.